What does it really mean when someone has no friends? Most people assume something is wrong. They're antisocial, they're weird, they don't know how to connect. But the truth is, not having friends is not always about social failure. Sometimes it's the result of deeper psychological patterns, experiences, and choices. In this video, we're going to explore the psychology of people who don't have friends and why the reality is far more complex than it seems. Understanding the situation. First, it's important to understand something. Not everyone without friends is lonely, and not everyone with friends feels connected. Friendship is not just about having people around you. It's about emotional connection, trust, and compatibility. Some people may have many acquaintances but still feel alone. Others may have no close friends but feel at peace. So when we talk about people who don't have friends, we're not just talking about numbers. We're talking about how they relate to people, past experiences, and trust issues. One major reason some people don't have friends is past negative experiences. Repeated disappointment, betrayal, or rejection can deeply affect how someone approaches relationships. Over time, they may develop a belief like getting close to people leads to pain. As a result, they become more cautious. They may avoid forming new friendships, not because they don't want connection, but because they want to avoid being hurt again. Trust becomes difficult, and without trust, friendships struggle to grow. Introversion versus isolation. Another factor is personality. Some people are naturally more introverted. They don't feel the need for constant social interaction. They prefer solitude or a very small circle. But there's a difference between introversion and isolation. Introversion is a preference. Isolation is often a pattern built over time. An introverted person may still value deep connections, but someone who has become isolated might slowly lose the habit of social interaction altogether. Social anxiety. For some individuals, the barrier is social anxiety. This is not just shyness. It's a constant fear of being judged, misunderstood, or rejected in social situations. Simple interactions can feel overwhelming. They may overthink what to say, worry about how they are perceived, replay conversations in their mind afterward. Because of this, they may avoid social situations entirely, not because they don't want friends, but because interacting feels mentally exhausting. High standards and selectiveness. Interestingly, some people don't have friends because they are highly selective. They value deep, meaningful connections rather than casual friendships. They may feel that most relationships are superficial or unfulfilling. So instead of maintaining many connections, they choose to have very few, or sometimes none. This can be a conscious decision rather than a limitation. Self-sufficiency and independence. Another pattern is strong independence. Some individuals become used to relying only on themselves. They find comfort in solitude. They manage their problems alone. They entertain themselves. They don't feel the need to depend on others. Over time, this self-sufficiency can reduce the motivation to build friendships because they've learned how to function without them. So the psychology of people who don't have friends is not simple. It can involve past experiences, personality traits, anxiety, independence, selectiveness, or life circumstances. In many cases, it's not about being unable to connect. It's about how someone has learned to relate to people over time. Understanding this helps us move away from quick judgments, because behind the absence of friendships, there is often a deeper story.